Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. So we begin. Save America, kill inflation. Why? Because the 7.5% inflation tax is destroying working folks' pocketbooks and devaluing the wages they earn. And the root cause of the inflation is way too much government spending, too many social programs without workfare, and vastly too much money creation by the Federal Reserve. This isn't hard, just common sense. Three factors, right? Bing, bing, bing. Too much spending, too many incentives not to work, and too much money. That latter point about the Federal Reserve is probably the biggest factor of all. Now, we had an interesting inflation analysis this weekend from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. On one of the Sunday talk shows, she said, skyrocketing inflation is due to more people entering the workforce. Really? I quote, she said, the fact that people have jobs always contributes to an increase in inflation. And that's a good thing, Pelosi said, but inflation's not good. You know, we have to contain it. So, Madam Speaker, I'm scratching my head here. You can't have it both ways. Either you blame working people or you don't. Now, some big liberal on your staff probably told you there's a Phillips curve trade-off between high inflation and low unemployment, but that person misled you. He or she was wrong. They confused you. More people working is unambiguously good for America. Unambiguously. More people working never causes inflation. Inflation is too much money chasing too few goods. But the more people who work means more people are producing more goods. That's the supply side of the economy, and more goods chasing the same amount of money would actually reduce prices and lower inflation. And right now, working folks are demanding higher wages because they're just trying to keep up with higher prices. It's really a price-wage spiral, and who can blame them? Then later on, Ms. Pelosi said that one of President Biden's great accomplishments was the rescue package from last April that put money in people's pockets. But it's not an achievement. It's not an accomplishment. It was a failure because it caused high inflation. It created too much demand. Even worse, it's government income without work requirements. And that created more demand and less supply at the same time. And that is, in fact, one of the principal causes of the raging inflation we have right now. So I'll just repeat. Want to solve inflation? Pause spending, reform welfare, and curtail the Fed's money supply. This, by the way, was a key part of a recent memo that the very brilliant former Senator Phil Gramm just sent to a bunch of his friends in the House and the Senate. A terrific memo. But I don't think Madam Pelosi got that memo. And that's my riff.